Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on April 24, 2023. Sudan fighting, civilians in untenable situation without food or water, Red Cross says. BBC, stay or flee, residents in Sudan face a difficult decision. Al Jazeera English, South Sudan receives about 10,000 refugees fleeing Sudan fighting. Reuters, over 10,000 people flee Sudan as ceasefire attempts fail. Channel 4 News, thousands flee Sudan to seek refuge in neighboring Chad. Catalonia's farmers face threat of drought, and a plague of hungry rabbits. Ukraine war latest, gun battle breaks out between Putin's forces and Wagner Group fighters, report. EU leaders rage over China's remarks, Russia to launch military drills in Sea of Japan. Rachel Roddy's recipe for stuffed lettuce in broth. The Guardian, growing a lettuce really shouldn't be this hard. Trump to publish letters from King Charles without permission in book revealing Putin friendship. The Independent, Trump to publish letter from the King without his permission. The Telegraph, Donald Trump set to publish 1995 letter from King Charles, without his permission. Express, letter from King Charles to be included in new Trump book, report says. Weather tracker, heat wave grips parts of Asia and heavy snow hits Scandinavia. The Guardian, why Asia is suffering from the worst April heat wave in history, DW News. DW News, temperatures soar in Thailand, officials warn of heat wave. CTV News, Thailand issues don't go out warning as heat index hits record 54°C. What the Jedi Master of the dark arts of diplomacy, Sergei Lavrov, wants from chairing the UN Security Council. Sky News, Russia's foreign minister comes to the United Nations as Moscow faces war crimes accusations. CNBC, Russia said to refuse to move Security Council Israel debate from Memorial Day. The Times of Israel, UN chief criticizes Russia at UN meeting chaired by Lavrov. Leg lengthening surgery is gaining popularity among men in US. Sky News, leg lengthening surgery grows in popularity. The Times, I was short king driven to painful lengthening op by teasing, now I feel incredible. Daily Star, short dudes are getting rods in their thighs to become taller. Pilot who offered flights to women for medical care fired from seminary job. Goldman Prize honors indigenous woman who stopped mining giant. Exclusive, Czech Republic looks to supply Vietnam more aircraft, radars. Sudan, what have different countries done to get nationals out? Sudan conflict explained, what's happening in Khartoum? The Independent, crowdsourcing hashtag safety, how Twitter is helping civilians in Sudan. Al Jazeera English, humanitarian situation in Sudan remains critical as evacuations get underway, France 24 English. France 24 English, what is happening in Sudan and how many British nationals are being evacuated? Evening Standard, Sudanese help one another find medicine, water as state collapses. UK medical bodies, gravely concerned, over Rwanda deportation scheme. The Guardian, judges showed deference to Home Office view of Rwanda's promises, court told. Evening Standard, Britain's migrant deal unlawful as Rwanda is unsafe, lawyers say. Reuters UK, asylum charity to appeal High Court ruling against Rwanda process this week. The National, migrants mount legal challenge to UK-Rwanda deportation plan. Sudan violence, up to 50 Irish citizens evacuated from Khartoum. BBC, Michael Martin says around 50 Irish citizens have been evacuated from Sudan so far. UTV, ITV News. ITV News, Defence Forces to help evacuate Irish people from Sudan. RTE.ie, Irish Army personnel to help evacuate citizens from Sudan. BBC, Irish government sending team to evacuate citizens from Sudan. ITV News. Climate protesters attempt to bring Berlin to a halt, as Just Stop Oil stop traffic in London. Sky News, watch, drivers drag climate activists off streets in Berlin. The Telegraph, German climate protesters glue themselves to Berlin streets. DW, English, activists block streets in German capital demanding climate action. Anadolu Agency, English, climate protesters attempt to halt traffic in Berlin. Sikh separatist leader Amritpal Singh arrested by Indian police after weeks on the run. Sky News, pro-Khalistani preacher Amritpal arrested after massive hunt, shifted to Assam. World News, WION. Amritpal Singh. Who is he and why was he arrested? Al Jazeera English. Amritpal Singh surrendered on Akal Takht Jatheddar's advice, claims SAD. The Tribune India. Opinion, with Amritpal in net, Khalistan Bobi buried in Punjab, ISI may continue to stir trouble abroad. China disowns ambassador's remarks questioning Ukrainian independence. BBC, Chinese envoy, Crimea was Russian at the start, Ukraine calls remarks absurd, Russia-Ukraine war. WION, China rose back after envoy denies sovereignty of former Soviet states. The Guardian, Chinese ambassador sparks controversy, questions sovereign status of former Soviet nations. WION, China walks back ambassador's remarks on sovereignty of post-Soviet states. Armed Forces Minister hints at plans to rescue UK nationals in Sudan. The Guardian, Sudan latest, more countries evacuate citizens as fighting continues in Khartoum. BBC, Sudan crisis, UK diplomats evacuated. Channel 4 News, China begins evacuation of citizens from Sudan. Anadolu Agency, English, Sudan violence, UK insists contact continues with trapped Britons. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.